Demetre. Okay.
The conversation we need to have, man, because I've been through so much trash ass relationships, man, bro. It's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. So when I was sitting there reading the post, I couldn't help but relate to it, man. And a lot of things that we go through, especially damn black men relationships, bro. These are the type of things that happen to us all the damn time, but a lot of it gets swept under the rug. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
but no, man, I'm definitely I'm happy that you was able to come on, man. Now I want you to introduce yourself, man. Or shout out your social media handles and all that good stuff.
Okay, yeah. My name is Demetre Wilkins, government, Demetre Wilkins Perryman. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. My Facebook is Demetre Wilkins. And there's a picture of me and my daughter. Then my Instagram is @_DWilks. I have also my business page is @_MindofMeech. Well, it's @_MindofMeech Productions. And then my Snapchat is @TheMindOfMeech. So give me a follow and a shout. I'm from Seattle, Washington, born and raised in West Seattle. And, well, not born. I was born in the Central District. I was raised in West Seattle. I played ball. It's kind of like how I grew up knowing everybody. And tried to turn through the streets. I think my upbringing was pretty decent. I had, aside from growing up in kind of like a DeV situation. I'm not gonna speak too much on that because I don't really care to step up.
Oh, stop! You're starting to lag a little bit.
I'm on the freeway. No, yeah, it's okay. Going through, I gotta go pick up my kids that were with their aunt last night. But going through all that, coming up as a kid, helped form an idea of like what kind of relationship I wanted and what it is that I wanted, and creating my own family. Like, I never wanted to go through that shit again, and so that's been my goal since day one. And then having a kid in 2017 was like so surreal, bro. Like, your first child is like, this is not real.
Yeah.
This can't be happening. And then when she got here, man, I was connected to her by the hip. I remember she was born on the 19th of August, the 19th of April, 2017, at like 11:59 and 59 seconds. I literally like going on 12 months. She had a cesarean, so when they took her out, man, I'm seeing the amniotic fluid come out of her. She's screaming for life, and I'm like, oh my god.
Bro.
As I cut the umbilical, dog, I had to go to work. I let my boss know, like, look, I gotta go. I'll be back. I'll be here at this time. And I'm thinking I was gonna be late, so I had a grace period. I ended up not being, late, and I got back to the hospital at maybe 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And me and my daughter was in the NICU, and man, we kicked it till about 8 in the morning. I just go to sleep. I think I went to 10:30, and that was my run. That was my little rib cage, man. Ever since.
Man, so what did you meet your ex, man? Like you said it was 17, so I'm assuming high school.
So listen. So I met my baby's mom and I go back to elementary school.
Oh,
I
wow.
I was 8 years old, right? And so we reconnected on my 25th birthday in 2015.
Yeah.
I want to say. And so like, what should have been like a one-time thing, I should have just kind of left it alone after that, because I was kind of in the midst of my whole phase. Like, I should have just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to. I thought I was. I mean, to my horn, I thought I was filthy. I thought I was dope enough to, create this type of girlfriend that would fit me. And like, that's the naiveness in me thinking like, if you can be yourself, you can get somebody to change. And man, I got the most rude awakening digging that. But I met her back in 2016. We linked back up in 2016.
Oh wow, man, that's crazy, man. Nah, that's elementary, man. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. That's a long time, man. I was reading through the post, man. I wanted you to because I read it through multiple times, and I did a video on it where I literally read the whole post verbatim and stuff like that. And a lot of people was asking me in the comment section, bro. They was like, what are you able to go more into details, like defining toxicity? Like how was she toxic? Because you were saying that she had a lot of toxic traits and stuff like that.
Well, this is also what I didn't. I like, because I couldn't use the whole entire story. I would take part in the reason she became toxic. Man, I was just, I mean, again, I got with her in the midst of my own things. Yeah. So I'm texting, I'm flirting with other girls and whatnot. So on my social media, and that rubbed her wrong. And I wasn't, for me it was playful, kind of, but like I also was not super considerate of her feelings in the beginning of our relationship. And so then, shortly after that, I began to make adjustments. It's like, my intentions were never to make her uncomfortable. I was just, I was in the middle of a lifestyle and kind of switched it up last minute for this person. And then, her toxicity increased because she allowed her mother to control a lot of her decisions and her movement. My siblings, it really started with her because she was pressing like, oh, do they like me? What do they think about me? And then, kind of peer pressure me one day. I'm under the influence of marijuana, which is what I used to like to call my fuck it. Yeah. And I let her know the truth of how they felt. And she, ever since then, she was just like, oh, no, I don't I'm like, well, you guys are all weird because you never even had the chance to sit down with each other, and you guys are going off of memories from elementary school. We're all in our 20s. Like, irrelevant for real. So, but I would say a large part of her toxicity stemmed from her allowing her mother to control her decisions and her movement as an adult, and I really disagree with that. I was not allowing my mom to be in any of my adult affairs and tell me what it is that I can and cannot or should not be doing like that. If I needed wise counsel, I would do that. But as an adult, everything is trial and error. So we're just out here trying to figure it out ourselves rather than, what our mom thinks we should be doing.
No, that's real, man. That's real. That's real. And the whole thing about it, man, is especially just hearing you say that, man, is you damn take accountability for that stuff. That, hey, yo, listen, I took a place in this part too. I had to deal with this. I had to deal with that. I did this and stuff like that. So I respect it, man. I respect it. Me personally, I don't like when, especially being a grown ass man, I don't like being with a woman and I gotta hear stuff from your mom or well, my mom said this, my mom said I don't like that. Or my home girl or my cousin, I don't like that. I'm not dating your mom, I'm not dating your home girl, I'm not dating your sister, I'm dating you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and for me, it really, like, in the beginning, it really wasn't anything. But as we were building our family, and her mom is speaking on, my mom and sisters had made some offensive comments, whatever. And I took it with a grain of salt of her mom expressing herself. I can't tell no grown adult how they should be feeling or talking. But it got to a point where I was sick of it. Like, if you're not going to say it to them and you think you're about to insult my family and continue to insult my family in front of me in a house that I pay bills for, you can respectfully get the fuck out of my house.
That's facts.
You can leave. And for me, that's not my mom, and I should have never had to tell her that. And I felt like, and I would never disrespect an elder, but like, man, and you put me in a precarious situation. Like, this is your mom, and you're allowing her to do this in our home. Okay, I will not ever be cool with that. That's not how we rock. I check my mom, you check yours. If I gotta check both, we're gonna have an issue, and that's what it became.
That's real. No, that's real, man. I wanted to know what thoughts like went through your mind after you got like after you received your first restraining order, man? Like what was going through your mind, man? Because I know for a fact, bro, you wasn't out here wilding like that. Like, and you hear these types of stories all the damn time. But what was going through your mind?
Okay, I gotta give you the backstory on that. So what's crazy is Shorty was really mad that I had left her. Now I had did some things in our relationship again, like, you know, that you probably shouldn't do in a relationship, bro. Like,
Yeah.
however, she was forgiving. She wasn't really that forgiving. She had recorded me in vulnerable moments, like apologizing and at like a low moment, you know, trying to like ridicule and demasculate me as a man, you know, because, you know, I really felt bad. I never wanted my actions to draw this line to where I can't be with my family type thing. But then she made it and kept this video as a, well, I'm gonna put this out and expose you type shit. I'm like, okay. So there was a day one of her cousins had moved in. I was coming from Cali and wanted to get his life together. You know, I had a cousin that, you know, was on the streets and we brought him in. So I was like, you know, we can, you know, it was my cousin's turn last time. He messed up. Your cousin, if he's on the up and up, he gonna get a job. I ain't tripping. You know, do what he do. And I think that's when shit got wicked. So there was a situation where my 3-month-old daughter has scratched and caught me in the eye. Kept scratching me. And so, like, I'm holding my daughter up in my face. I said, Mama, you cut that shit out. That I didn't shake my daughter, but dude was like, dude didn't say anything to me. So I mean, honestly, like I said, I didn't shake my daughter. I didn't think that he would take it to the lengths he took it. So he went and told my baby's mom and her mom that I shook my daughter. And so when I talked to bro, and mind you, I have recently seen him. And whenever I see him and try to talk and have this conversation, he backs out and he pushes out and he just fuck around and disappears, bro. Like on some weird shit, which makes me question, like, bro, did your auntie put you up to that shit? Like, because I never shook my daughter, and I could never understand the narrative. So they were going off of that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not thinking much of it because I know the truth.
Yeah.
So, you know, fast forward to August of 2017, I left because I was just over her being disrespectful. You know, I pay the bills here. You don't work. You're not contributing to anything. You're 3 months in, and I get, you know, you got to give women time to kind of recover and whatnot. However, like, you're just making a whole bunch of demands for somebody who's not working. You're also, like, not putting your mom in her place. So at this point in juncture, it's just best that we end this relationship. And I'm going to, it was like, I was at a barbershop. She had decided that she was going to call me all types of bitches from A through Z.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends and childhood friends is my barber. And they're hearing the voice message that she left me on Messenger. And they were like, and their old heads was just like, man, nah, you trust me, man, you don't gotta be with nobody to stay with your baby. And I'm like, man, I didn't want my baby in no broken home type of situation.
No, that's
it
real.
was like, man, you just gonna have to do what you gotta do. And I'm so thankful and grateful to those OGs because irregardless of everything that had happened that I led up to where I'm at today, that was some of the best advice I ever received because I was at peace, right? And so I just got a new job. I just got a new apartment in like September, and I'm grinding, man. I'm just like, we gonna build it up. By the time baby girl gets here, everything is good. And then one day I would work like a whole week full of 12s, and then one day I got a knock on my door, and it was a police officer to serve me this paperwork of a restraining order. When I'm reading like the details and the evidence in it, I said, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And this is when I learned that she was super manipulative. She didn't have anything nice to say about either side of my dad's side of the family or my mom's side, and yet she used my cousin she used my cousin in a statement and manipulated the entire situation. My cousin had saw something on my Snapchat. You guys, remember Dancing Dan and Knick Knack Paddywhack was going around. So that was just during that phase. And I said, man, and then Trump, just guess it was rumored that Trump at that time was coming through with a no child support order because my baby's mom was her and her mom were sending me threats about putting me on child support and all types of crazy shit. And so I said, man, Trump put this no child support order out. I'm a hop back into my baby's mom's like I'm Dancing Dan Rue.
Yeah.
And I'm hopping up in that bitch and I'm taking my baby out. So my cousin misconstrued like that whole message. Like she thought that I was insulting my baby's mom, and that was never the case. So my baby's mom threw that report in there. She went back reported my baby's mom. She put that report in there. So I'm like, okay, I see what type of thing you're doing. Cool. I had messages in a government phone at the time that had messages and insults from her mother, to refute all those claims in those documents. Right. So one day I'm coming home, and I'm kind of like in the beginning phase of trying to rebuild my life. I just paid rent, so I'm kind of broke, and so I living in Edmonds, cross 99 to the Dollar Tree to go grab me some quick grub, and as I'm running back across the street with the groceries, my phone slips out of my pocket into traffic, and I watched at least 14 cars run over this car and destroy it. This phone destroyed it. I'm crushed because this is all that I had left.
Yeah.
And so I was less devastated because in the same breath that he's serving me this papers, he served me with a child support order at the same time. I was like in complete and utter disbelief because I was just like, how does a man that went and was solely providing for an entire household, paying all of the bills, get put on child support? So now what you're doing is you're crying wolf, because Washington is a woman's state. And so all she has to say is that this man is a threat. He did this.
Yeah.
She didn't really need like a whole bunch of evidence to really back up her claim. That's all she needed to say.
Yeah.
And so I was befuddled, dude. I had absolutely no words. I was hurt to like no belief, because I was just like, you're willing to go this far. Mind you, we had broke up and she wanted to get back together.
Yeah.
But I let her know I had just got my driver's license. I just found out I passed my test for my driver's license.
Yeah.
And we were living in Federal Way at the time, but again, we had broken up. So I'm coming all the way from Edmonds to take my driver's test, passed it, and I was like, I'm about to come see my daughter. I'm about to come see her. And in the midst of that, she had access to my Facebook password at the time. She was saved in her computer of Google Chrome, and she's seeing all these messages to these other women. And she was just like, well, you unblocked all these people. I was like, well, I am single. I mean, until I figure out what it is that I want, I'm going to be single. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Man, she immediately lost it and told me that I would never see my daughter again. She was going to see to it. And then her mom calls me, says the same thing, but I had to hang up on her. And it sucks, because if I had that phone, I could literally show you, and I have friends who are in the car with me who can attest to how crazy these people are, and how she claims like she has a cousin that, by the way, who was like on social media putting up a whole bunch of like all paperwork in 2019. By the way, I filed a parenting plan.
Yeah.
She never filed a parenting plan. She goes through this whole spiel about how I was a deadbeat, I was never there, and then my side of the story is like, well, I never saw you as we were together for an entire year, almost two. You were a whole ass irrelevant person. She didn't even fuck with you for real. She said you and another friend that shared your posts were hoes. and she didn't want to live that type of lifestyle, because those aren't the type of people that she wants to be around. It's not the type of woman she is aspiring to be. So it was just like, you're sharing all this. You're back at your cousins who never fucked with you. One.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was a hell of a time, man. I'll never forget it. Like it feels like yesterday.
And that's the thing, man. And I like what you said. You said Washington is a female state. I think it's everywhere, bro. I think it's here in Florida. I live in Florida. It's the same thing in Florida, especially being a black man, bro. When you're dealing with the family court system, you are guilty until proven innocent. She can run around here and say whatever she want to say about you, and automatically everybody's going to believe it. You have to prove your innocence to them, which you are innocent. And it doesn't make any sense, bro. And that's why I tell a lot of guys, I'm like, bro, listen, if you can, do the best that you can to avoid being put in that situation, because once she has the ball, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And you know what's crazy? Like ever since September 16th, I made a poll. I won my daughter. I got my daughter physically back in September 16th, and I won custody in May 27th of this year. So it took an additional 4 months practically for me to even get physical custody of my daughter.
Yeah.
And then I made the post. As soon as I made the post, man, there's so many black kings just reaching out and letting me know that I was an inspiration, but also letting me know of like the situations that we're going through. Yeah. And I don't think that it's fair. And I know plenty of men that have won in their situations. I just don't think that they voiced out on a platform to make society make a change. Because I feel like a thorough investigation needs to be set in. A lot of women make their decisions and go out and do these things based off of how it is that they feel. Well, he did this to me, so I'm going to use my kid as a pawn. And when they lose that social power, they lose their mind.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. It's actually good that you touched on this, because I wanted to ask you this. Do you think that the laws should change and be more equal with the family court system?
100%. Without any, if the mom is not presenting over compelling evidence to refute, to back up her claims, the father should be rewarded 50-50. If you need, and if there was any like past police reports of DV, classes need to be taken. Both parents should be permitted to taking the classes that I had to take.
Thanks.
In order to help co-parent. Like people think that it's just one side, and I really hate, like, and not just black fathers, but fathers in general. We get the short end of the stick when it comes to this type of shit, man. Like nobody thinks about the mother's love for the kid.
Yeah.
Well, damn. So you're saying the father? I don't have any love for my kid. I helped this kid fresh out the womb. I cut the cord. I was the one listening to Marvin Gaye. What's my girl's name? Angie Stone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This. I'm the one putting my baby on to this soul rap that we talking about. Like, you didn't put in on this. You were just the womb carrier. It was my seeds that helped give her life. So I can't feel away. I can't love my kid. I think it's crazy. And and that's honestly why I felt like after this, I was like, man, I'm gonna just advocate, be a voice for fathers, because we gotta stick together, man. It's really a fucked up stigma that society placed on black fathers specifically.
Yeah.
It's really nasty, bro. And it's not true. All of my uncles was there for their kids, and a couple of them really had to dog fight for real. Yeah. I know, like they really have to go through the wire. And it wasn't until I went through my situation that they were really going into depths about it. I remember my mom telling me about one of my uncles specifically. He had a chance to go to the NBA, man. He just wasn't finna let this lady collect that check. And I feel that, man. Yeah. I felt that.
No, that's real, man. And a lot of people don't really understand until it's too late. They don't understand the stuff that black fathers will go through. And if you was to lose, for example, the relationship, like you said earlier, she's going to make an example. Oh, okay, we're not together anymore. Okay, you're not going to be able to see your child. You're not gonna be able to do this. You're not gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna make a restraining order. I'm gonna make it seem like you are a deadbeat father, even though behind the scenes you taking care of her family, and all this, that, and the third. They're not gonna talk about that. They're gonna make it seem like you're just this deadbeat ass guy, and that's the problem that I hate. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, I feel you to the fullest. It's like, you know what? It's crazy. I used to have this thing. I used to have no respect for fathers that just quit on their kids, because how could you quit? And it wasn't until I went through it I understand. I respect every father that's ever tried and that gave up, and every father that continued to fight through, because I understand what it is that you go through emotionally. I don't know. For me, I'm gonna keep it 100. If it wasn't for our girl, I probably would have went off the wire already too.
Yeah.
This was a lot, man, and I hate that she had to go through this with me, but she a rider, man. Shout out to my girl, Baby J, a shout out, man, because without her, I don't know where I would have been in this process. She helped me with finding a lawyer. She was just like, man, they in this together, we in this together. Okay, ain't nobody my daughter, man. Upon meeting her, she loved her, and I don't know my daughter to be like that with people. She was really shy as a kid, like, but she has my personality, so I kind of knew like the people person thing was gonna kick in, and man, she just attached to her from day one, and it was really weird because it was like,
yeah,
that's not me. But like, you know, that's what she's always called her. I never even forced that. She just went up to her and hugged her, mommy. I said, but I never sweated that. My ex got a relationship, and it was at the 2019 parenting plan. They were finalizing the parenting plan, and it's so crazy, man, because you would think a man that shook his child wouldn't ever be deemed worthy. And hearing this judge like tell her like, well, there's no police reports, there's no like documentation from a doctor's. I just did my merit. I work in childcare. If you have an open case in CPS, you aren't getting hired. If I had an open case back in 2017, it's still deemed as open.
Yeah.
I would have never had that job. I would never have this job. So that means either A, you're a liar, or B, you're lying and continue to build on your lie. Yeah. And that's something like I'm not big. I don't really care about. It's never been about bashing my babies, because my goal has always been about my daughter. But I'm telling like on my social platform, like just the journey of what it is I've went through. Just
that's real.
Just keeping it plain, because I ain't never bashed her in public. I still have text messages about her doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That if I wanted to embarrass her and her family that's getting on these platforms and making these fake pages, now I could do that right now.
Yeah.
Like at this very moment. Her brother, I want to give a shout out to Deshaun Sanchez. I didn't immediately in the news media. I didn't immediately because I didn't want to mess up any investigation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did come across bro a couple of months ago and letting him know about his sister, you know what I'm saying, being in hiding and ducked off, and he wasn't trying to help me. So I didn't reach out to him for help this time. And it wasn't until an FBI poster was up that he reached out to his sister on his behalf. Like, okay, you got a shout out. But like, bro, let's not act like you have been so like willing to help me. You were never willing to help me until you seen your sister was gonna be going to prison. Like, bro, like I give you a shout out. You got some love, but like also keep it funky with the public, man. I got your messages too. If I wanted to air that out, like I never did nothing shysty. I never spoke bad on my baby's mom. When CASA came and did their reports in 2019 and deemed I was neglectful in my parenting plan, I was crushed, because it was just like, damn, you saw the interaction with me and my daughter.
Yeah.
You heard the report. I never once talked bad about my baby's mom. And I wasn't really keen on like airing it out and telling like the ins and outs of our relationship, but I'm reading the reports of her family, her mother, her cousin Jure, who I've never even met during our relationship tenure, and then her father Eric Smith, a man who I reached out to immediately and he did not reach back out. He acted like he didn't even know who I was. He spoke so badly on my name. None of these people asked me the truth. I know Kiana and Jane never cared about the truth.
Yeah.
But Eric Smith was a man who Jane Sanchez put through the ringer.
Oh, of course.
And he gave up. And all that Kiana was doing was what her mom did to her dad. And I felt so bad because this man had told me that this woman is manipulative. And it wasn't until we deepened our relationship and near the end of it that I'm like, man, I feel so bad for this dude. And now it's just like, man, you just messed up any other chance that my daughter has to even know you. Like, her whole family has. Like, bro, you guys have, I get back in your family. I'm not backing nobody that's wrong. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Whether we blood or not. If you're wrong, I'm not rocking with you just because you're my cousin. I'm checking that, if anything. Nah, go get that right. You wrong. You messed up. That's how my family rocks with me. They'll rock. And some of them may rock me. If I was ever wrong, they would rock with me. But know that they checking my ass from here to there. And I ain't getting away with nothing. Like, accountability is a thing that I don't feel like the courts also like make women do either. Like, I had to go through, bruh, I had to take so many classes and I had to repeat a couple of them just so I could be in good faith and standing with the courts so they could see, like, bro, I'm really legit genuine, bro. Like, I'm not trying to put a wool over y'all eyes and be this other person. This is who I am. Like, I'm just confused as to why now the shoe is on the other foot. She has never had to take a class.
Oh no, it's always going to be on you, man. And this is why I mentioned earlier. Like, these are the things that a lot of guys are going to have to go through. You are guilty, bro. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. No marks on her, no bruises, black eyes, none of that. But she running around telling people, "Oh, he punched me in my face 10 times." Okay, well, we don't see no busted lip or anything. Like, what's going on? But they don't care about that. They will come and grab you and throw you in jail, push you through the whole trial phase, and you sitting there looking like, bro, if I punched her 10 times in the face, wouldn't you see something? You know what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing. And so it's really frustrating. That's why I asked you that question. Like, do you think that these court systems need to be changed? And you said, yes, I agree with you. Because you being guilty until proven innocent is not right. Especially when it comes to her, the shoe being on her foot. Because she doesn't have to go through that. The same thing you said. She didn't have to take any of the classes. Why am I sitting in these classes, taking these classes alone? She should be here with me.
Right.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, and it's frustrating, man. And again, like I said, so many of these guys go through this. Luckily for you, you were financially stable enough to be able to afford to go through it. But do you know how many guys go through this that can't even afford to have a lawyer, the court fees, and all this stuff? And they did, and they do what you said earlier. They just give up.
Oh, it's really wicked. It's really it's wicked, man. I can't even. That's just the best word I could come up with it. Like, it's really sad. I feel bad for any man that's got to.
Man, I also wanted to ask you this, man, because bro, I dissected your post, man. I wanted to know, how did you keep your composure during the exchanges and stuff like that? Because I know you were saying that they were trying to like egg you on, they were trying to get you to, provoking you, trying to get you to react to them negatively and stuff like that, just so they can have something to show the courts. How were you able to keep your composure in like in an emotion like that, an emotional state, I should say, like that?
The end game. I was playing chess.
Yeah.
I never liked checkers as a kid. And so me and my girl, after the first exchange, we were just like, I think we should record everything. I don't trust it. I'm like, it's whatever. I ain't gonna be in sweat nothing. So then the second time I got to a visit and I didn't record, I wasn't on live.
Yeah.
They got to acting real ignorant. Like the boyfriend, I wanted to clear the air. I was never a jealous baby's dad. I ain't one of these bitter baby's daddies. I had a whole girlfriend. I never cared. When I left my baby's mom, I didn't care. I didn't look back. Was not playing either. So like, it was really weird that he felt like even in talking with him, sounded like he had already made up his decision that he was backing this woman, and he didn't even have a clear and like thorough understanding of what it was that was going on, what I was enduring. And so like he's kind of on some, well, bro, we need to have a conversation. I said, yeah, we do. I said, the last time that I talked to you, bro, like you were to tell me that my daughter, it was something about my daughter. And then in the same breath, tell me, actually, it's about you. Now, when you do that with a parent and a dad, like, I'm like, well, what's wrong with my daughter? He's like, actually, it's about you. All right, well, you're playing with me and I'm a grown man. You don't have any kids. So check this out. We're not meeting up to talk. You're not serving me any paperwork because I know that's what my baby's mom's mom tried to put you up to do.
Yeah.
And like, bro, there's nothing to talk about. So then like, well, as he's talking to me, bro, at the second visitation, they're talking about, oh, my stepson, my bonus son as well. I just call him my son for real, because I really have been raising him. She talking about my son put his hands on my daughter, which ain't never happened. Now my daughter kind of got a little bit of her mama ways, and she's very imaginative and likes to story tell. But we tell her all the time, like, that's not okay that's not an okay thing to do.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy that they're all kind of at this point, they're all in the car. I'm talking to the dude, and then my baby's mom tries to chime in on some, wait a minute. And I literally told her, right, guys, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
And he tries to, oh, well, bro, that's your baby's mom. Nigga, I don't care.
Yeah.
I do not care. The whole thing about this was, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Her, and then her mom came around the car in the corner. I'm going into an elevator. I got to drop some clothes off for my kids.
Now you good, man. You good.
For that, I was recording everything. And the boyfriend kept trying to make it his thing to try to get a rise. And it's not to say it wasn't working. I just was. I'm ready to, for lack of a word, I'm ready for her. When I talk to her, she's like, your daughter calls me dad. That's not my daughter. So I think it's like, so what are you doing? And I'm like, I was like, man, I just got to continue to play the end game. It's all this. I'm sending to my attorneys. And while you guys think that you're about to get away with any of this, everything's recorded.
Yeah.
All the videos. So for me, it was just about playing the long game. It was.
Man. No, that's beautiful, man. I'm glad that you were damn able to do all that stuff, man. Because who knows what could have happened? They could have been like, oh, well, he tried to fight me, or he tried to do this, he tried to be abusive, or some crap like that. So it's good that you recorded it.
Morning, babies. I got the clothes. I didn't see him. Can you? I gotta do this podcast. If you could help, no, it's okay. If you could help them get dressed, I'm gonna step outside for a second. Okay, I'm gonna step outside right quick. Yeah, we had my daughter's like half birthday with my aunt's 50th birthday last night. So the kids were at the hotel with my auntie. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you up too long, man. I just got one more question, man, and this is probably the most important question, man. What advice would you give other men that's going through something similar or the exact same thing as you? What is your best advice? Things, you could do a step by step or one answer. It's up to you.
Man, no. So first one is delete nothing. Keep every receipt. Be very very like show that you are determined to see your child. Show that in every message. Okay, you have to be on it because consistency is key, and that's what the courts are going to be looking for. How often were you looking for visitations?
Yeah.
How often were you denied them? So be persistent in your texting and delete nothing. Keep all of that. Social media stuff where she's bashing, talking bad about you. Keep all that shit holds relevancy. Because trust me, she will use it on you in court. Don't delete Messenger. Don't delete your text messages. Record every visitation exchange. Do not, and I repeat, do not go to any visitation exchange and you're not recording. Let it be known out loud that you're recording, because you have every right to record. In a public setting, in a public area, you have every right to record. So be mindful when you're recording that you announce that you are recording and that you're in a public place to be recording. Don't do any visitation exchanges. Do them in like a public place, like the parking lot of a grocery store or the police station. Don't do it at the house, because then then that's when most problems arise. And I wish I would have did that differently. Stack your money, hire an attorney, hire a family law attorney. For Black men, it's like riding the waves of a fat ass tsunami, bro, and they really put you through the ringer and circular. Them lawyers know how to get over them waters and ride through that, especially the good ones. I want to say make sure it's very costly, but man, our children are worth it. I spent about $30,000, man, within a year. Worth it. At the end, I get to see my daughter and my son interacting, and I'm expecting another one. So keep your texts, record everything.
Stack your money up and keep it safe.
Stack your money up, hire an attorney. And the most important one is your circle has to be nothing but positive people. Any and everybody that is not positive, remove them. Because during this time, your mental health is of grave importance, bro. You're about to go through hell and high water. And this is nothing sweet. This is nothing nice. It's imperative that you go through this with nothing but positivity around you.
Yeah.
People that's going to keep you up and uplifted and helping you see the brighter side. Because if you go to the new way in on the other side, then that's just what you're going to be. And your reactions are going to be as such. So keep your circle tight as well. That's what I would say.
Bro, man, you don't understand, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously, man, because again, like I said earlier, this is the things that a lot of other guys need to know. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you for taking your time out your day, man, to doing this, man, bro. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out your social media handles again, man, just in case for the people.
Snapchat. Hold on, let me go look at my stuff right quick. My Snapchat is at the Mind of Meech. My Twitter handle is at D capital DWILKS 32 on Twitter. My Instagram account is my public Instagram account is @_D.
Oh, you starting to chop up a little bit. What was the other one?
My Facebook is Productions, and then my Facebook is Demetre Wilkins.
Got you. Shout out your Instagram again. You started to cut out a little bit.
Oh, my public Instagram is @_D Wilkes.
Got you. D Wilkes. And I'm gonna make sure I put it in the description, put it in the title, so everybody can be able to see it, man. Because I'm pretty sure you probably already have people reaching out to you anyway, but you're gonna have definitely people reaching out to you after this, man.
No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you providing this platform again. Like, man, my whole agenda going through this process and then winning my daughter back was to be a voice. I think this is a part of my calling, man. There's so many of us out here, and I want to help kind of band us and reunite us in our community. We are that staple. We were once that staple, and I think that it's important and it's imperative that we become that again. And the only way we can do that is if we stand together. And if I got to be that voice for that, then no, I'm willing to take on that burden.
Bro, beautiful, man. Beautiful, bro. I appreciate you, man. Very, very beautiful family, man. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, man. Congratulations. You know, you about to pop out another one, man. So wish us nothing but safe pregnancy and an even safer delivery, man.
I appreciate that, King. Appreciate you for having me today. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Be safe out here, all right?
You too, King.
All right, peace.
Peace.
The finish line, I ran past it. So egotistic, so cocky, so conceited, cause I'm better than your average. I'm mad sick when I spit that shit. When I spit that flow, she gon' want to catch my drift. Soon as a nigga get some money, they try to spit on it. They ain't put it on this bottle, so they can't sip on this. Don't you try to boost me up, don't try to get on, bitch. Cause I'ma act like I'm